So, the grid is the basis of who you are. And when you find a way to line up with that, then all of the things that you've been putting into this vortex that are right now vibrational versions of what you want, as far as you are concerned, far less satisfying than the manifested versions. A vibrational version, blah, blah, blah. Virtual money, whoop-de-doo. A virtual lover, well, good for them. I want the manifestation of that, Abraham. And we say the manifestation must follow. The manifestation must be allowed by you. But you got to figure out what's the vibrational consistency of that, and you have to find the vibrational grid that allows it to flow. So here's the picture we would like you to see. So you were source energy before you came into this physical body. You've heard this so many times you could speak it as well as we do. Source energy before you came into this body. A part of you came into this physical body. And as you came into this physical body, you are exploring like leading edge pioneers. While the source of you remains in this steady, solid, always pure positive energy vibration. Always loving, you might not. Always worthy, you might not feel like you are. In other words, this secure being, you might not be, but it still remains there. So you know what you don't want, you know what you do want, you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. And every time that happens, which is all day, every day, and has been from the moment that you set foot into this foot, you send these rockets of desire, and your becoming happens. And we've been calling this your vortex. Now, you've been listening to us for a while. We've been saying, you want to get in your vortex. You want to get in your vortex. That was our way of saying, you want to get up to speed with what is in your vortex. You want to achieve a vibrational stance that allows the vortex, law of attraction, to bring you in where all that you are and all that you want is. Today, we are giving you a slightly different way of looking at this, because we want you to understand that as you stand here in your powerful moment of attention, that you are generating a vibration, and when it is in sync, Esther has been trying to find a visual as she hears us explaining and feels us explaining this to you. And the visual that she has is that beaming up from the very core of that which she is, you are, is this bright beam of vibration. And when she stands in it, she can feel the clarity of it. She knows that that's what she's doing when she's allowing Abraham to flow through. Standing over there in it, it bees so dominant that she bees compliant with it. So here is this energy, this vibration, this core beingness beaming up. And here you are somewhere in the vicinity of it. Maybe over here ornery about something. Maybe over here frightened about something. Maybe standing right in it in appreciation or love of something. But you get to choose, you get to allow or disallow your relationship with this grid. So that's pretty easy to understand, isn't it? It's pretty easy to understand your relationship with the vortex or your relationship with the grid. Conceptually, not hard to get your thoughts around that, is it? But now, how does the rest of the world fit in with your grid? Well, let's say that you are in vibrational alignment with who you are, and you are beaming a powerful signal. That means that anyone who's moving around in your vicinity, who's of the same vibrational frequency or nature, can't you just see those grids clicking together? Boom, 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 boom. So that there's this synergy, there's this energy, there's this co-creative enthusiasm that happens with grids like yours lining up, because law of attraction just locks them into place. Of course, you could have gotten up on the wrong side of the bed. You could be an ornery toad for the 5th day in a row. You might not be anywhere near your own core, your own vortex, your own natural source grid. You got something else going on out here. Well, guess what's happening? Those grids are lining up too. Coming into place. All those ornery people coming to you, or all those fearful people coming to you. In other words, all around you, you have the potential of aligning with your true power. Now, you've heard us say, we know you have because we've been saying it and you've been listening, that one who's in alignment, tuned in, tapped in, turned on, is more powerful than millions who are not. So if you take the time to notice your grid, if you take the time to Align with it. The power of that which you are about will be evidenced by the manifestations that surround you, but more important, will be evidenced by the way you feel, by the clarity you feel, by the vitality you feel, by the enthusiasm you feel, by the well-being that you feel, by the joy for life that you feel. So there's nothing inappropriate with hooking up with some of those other grids. It's part of that contrast that we were talking about. Just don't make a lifestyle of it. Just don't spend your time out there in the vibrational wasteland conferring with others about the best way to cope while you're out there. And that's what so much life experience and chatter is about. Well, this is how we're dealing with life. Let's join together in chat groups and deal together. And we say, there's only one chat group we join, and it's the one that is connected to the core of that which you are. It's the one that always exudes from you enthusiasm and clarity and love. So, we are eager to talk with you about whatever is important to you. It is our promise to you that by the time we are finished today, you'll understand the grid fully. And it is our expectation that you'll be right in alignment with who you really are. We also want to say to you that that does not mean that you will forevermore be in lockstep with your grid, because you have come here to experience variety for the purpose of adding to the whole of that which we all are. This is a creative dance. There's just such a difference when you know about the grid, when you know that you are the creator of your own experience, when you know that you have the ability to generate a vibration and that law of attraction will acknowledge the vibration that you've offered, when you are able to acknowledge the difference between holding yourself in sync with who you really are or holding yourself out of sync with who you really are. When you get the personal awareness of how these magnificently consistent laws of the universe work, and you go with the flow of those laws, people who are watching you will be amazed at what you accomplish. They will be amazed at the clarity of your mind. But more important, they will be amazed with the cooperation of everyone and everything around. They will watch discordant others bounce right off of you. They will watch harmonious others join you in vibrational beingness. They will see evidence of your alignment, and they will say, how is it that you are so sure-footed? How is it that you barely speak a preference and it is handed to you with such ease and grace and balance? And you say, I chilled out. I stopped worrying about what everybody else was doing because I realized it didn't have anything to do with me. I just picked from it like a buffet, picking the pieces I liked and focusing on them and ignoring the others. And then it just got easier and easier, because from the moment I became deliberate, consciously aware of how I wanted to feel. And when I heard about the vortex and I realized that everything I want is in there, I want it in there too. And then when I learned that I'm sending a vibrational frequency that might be in sync with who I really am and might not, and that I can feel the difference, and that I can use the power of my mind to line myself up, then I was off and running. And there is no ending to the expansion of my beingness. There's a lot for me to be happy about, you say to others. Never-ending expansion and continual joy. What's not to like, yeah? What do you want to talk about? You've come with things. It's going to be a magnificent day. Truly magnificent day. Ooh, so much good stuff. Yes, indeed. Begin right there, second row.
Here comes the obligatory relationship question. Can you, with this new grid analogy, can you speak more of the benefit of mating with your soul before looking for a soulmate?
You know, your soul, or your inner being, is over there in your vortex with all the details you've put there. So your soul knows exactly what kind of relationship you're looking for, right down to the last detail. So if you are in alignment with who you really are, then let's start in another place. You're going to like this. So do you follow what we're getting at about the grid filling in?
Yes.
once you've established vibrational alignment with who you are, maybe through meditating, maybe through appreciating, maybe through making lists of positive aspects, maybe just from observing a beautiful day. It doesn't matter how you got tuned in, but let's just say you are. So when you're tuned into that vibration, now the grid's going to fill in, while you're in that state of being, with all things that are pleasing. And the way the grid fills in first is through thoughts. And then feelings ensue as the harmonious thoughts come consciously into your mind and become more active. Then impulses. Then rendezvousing with others. So isn't it logical that when you take the time to meet up with your inner being, who knows exactly who you are and what you want, that would be a good thing to do before you start meeting up with others. So you establish this grid of attraction where those individuals who hold large quantities of those specific preferences that you've been putting there come into your path. The advantage to lining up with who you really are first is that you've put enough information into your vortex to satisfy this relationship that you're looking for. You don't need more contrasting experiences in order to fill it in more fully. So once you align with who you really are, then the power of your grid, the power of your point of attraction will just reach right out into the vicinity that surrounds you and fill it in with matching things. And you know it. So you get this impulse. Sounds a little off the subject, but for example, Esther is driving down the freeway by herself the other day, and ahead of her on a trailer was the largest elephant she had ever seen. It didn't occur to her that it was a Republican elephant. It just was an elephant, not alive, a statue of an elephant. But it was so big, she wondered if it would get under the bridge. It was very, very big. And Esther thought it would be really fun to take a picture of the elephant to show to the grandchildren, because it was a sight to see. So Esther is trying to get alongside of it and trying to take a picture of it at the same time while she was driving. Which wasn't easy because it was in the right lane, and so she had to do it through the windshield, and so she took about 20 pictures. And when she got to the grandchildren's house, she looked and she had taken a picture of the sky and a picture of the road and a picture of the bushes and a picture of everything except the elephant. She did not get one piece of the elephant. Not one piece of the elephant was in any of her pictures. So she told them the story anyway. Kids, I saw the most magnificent elephant. I so wanted to get a picture so that I could show it to you. So now the children are in the back of her car, and they're going to Esther's new favorite place, McDonald's, for an ice cream Frosty. They're on their way there, and Kate says, "Grandma, look at the elephant." And the truck is parked in the back of the shopping center. And Esther said, "So much better than a picture." So much better than a picture. Focused on it not that long. Was active in my grid. All the reasons for wanting to see it were active within me. Even took some action in order to accomplish it because it was something so fun I wanted you to see. Whatever is active in your vibration, the universe will find a way to deliver it to you right down to the last detail. We are not kidding you. This is not a coincidence. This is law of attraction. Law of attraction giving you the impulses and putting whatever in your vicinity. Very often, someone with you is the one who calls your attention to something because that's the path of least resistance. You see what we're getting at? Esther's desire to have that picture was strong within her, but her expectation now was no longer there. Esther thought that she had missed her opportunity to see the elephant. But the opportunity to see the elephant is never lost. That's really the point. Once something's active within you, the universe has the ability to deliver it to you one way or another. Now, this was not a very long-held desire. It was just an extremely active desire within Esther in that moment, you see. Long-held desires have much more attraction power. as long as in the moment you're not contradicting the long-held pattern.